Welcome back to the Tool Crib. Today I want to highlight something that a few people have commented on my videos that they believe that I am missing a feature for the latest multi-tool out of the Leatherman tool group, the Leatherman Mr. Crunch, and it concerns the outer jaws. Now, a lot of people seem to be under the impression that the outer jaws act in parallel, much like you'll get in something like the Kinetics pliers wrench, which makes them such a fantastic tool. The fact of the matter is they simply do not. It's not a feature that I missed, it's that it simply doesn't exist. Now, I think some of the confusion for this is because there was an article written early on, day of the release or day after the release of the Leatherman Mr. Crunch, in which they stated falsely that those jaws open parallel. Now, they do at one point, and that's only at about an 1/8 inch open. At that point, the jaws are completely parallel. But as you open them up, that changes. So I, not being in the shop and working on the road right now in the hotel room, I don't have a whole lot of items to show you this up here, but I got a couple. So the first thing I want to do is I want to show you this on the case of my Zippo. So as you can see, we pinch down on the jaws, and you can obviously tell that they are nowhere close to parallel. And this is one of those situations where either it is or it isn't, because we only have one point where the top portion of the pliers is grabbing on, and so this will pivot and rotate, unlike something like the Kinetics pliers wrench, where in fact those are parallel. Now, again, if we hold them out at about 1/8 of an inch open, then they are parallel. So this is just shy of an 1/8 inch, and that is also just shy of an 1/8 inch. But let's open them up a little further. We'll get the bottom one down here, which is now open to just under 1/4 of an inch, and on the top side, it's just over 1/4 inch. Now, the further open that you make those pliers, the worse or the larger variant that you'll get between those two measurements. So on the top side now, it's about 9/16 of an inch, and on the bottom, it's about 7/16 of an inch. So this is not a feature that I missed. It is simply a feature that does not exist. And I wish the people that had done that article would research what they're doing a little bit further, because they're really giving some really false information to people out there. Now, I think that the Leatherman Mr. Crunch, for some of the other stuff that they put into it, could be looking towards the future of what we could see in the Leatherman Free series. I don't think that the pliers that come with the Leatherman Mr. Crunch are a viable option for the market. I think they're a bit of a novelty. I'm glad they made it because, like I mentioned in the video review of this, I believe that this was Tim Leatherman's original, or one of his original concept designs, and for him, I'm glad it finally came to fruition. However, from a practical standpoint, it really doesn't really offer you very much. It's a large compromise between a needle nose and a blunt nose pliers, neither of which is extremely good, but it does offer the ability to swap back and forth between the two. So while it's a cool design and it's interesting from an engineering aspect how they were able to accomplish this, it's simply not a practical design, and it certainly does not have parallel jaws. My name is Ben. You've been watching the Texas Tool Crib. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next one.